Lead-based paint, mold, asbestos. Let's dive into these different substances and talk about the inspections that you may or may not want to complete for your upcoming home purchase. As a buyer in the state of Colorado, you have the right to pick any and all different types of inspections. So, where do you draw the line? Well, it usually comes down to finances for most of our buyers. They recognize that though they could spend thousands and thousands of dollars on tons of different types of inspections, maybe all of them aren't necessary and perhaps not necessary right at this moment when they're purchasing their home. Among the three most common are general inspection, sewer scope, and radon test. The three other ones that we typically get other questions on include mold, asbestos, and lead-based paint. So let's dive in today and talk more about those and whether you might or might not need them. The fourth most common type of inspection, if I had to choose one, would be mold. Here's why most people don't complete a mold inspection. Mold inspections typically run about $500 or more. What happens with a mold inspection is you'll call up said vendor or inspector and ask for an inspection to be completed. The first question that they ask is, where would you like us to test the mold? So for most houses that don't have mold present, maybe the buyer is speculating if there's mold there because they have allergies or are very sensitive to it. Maybe they have little kiddos or whatnot. They want to make sure that there's a certain spot that they're testing and it's not just the house in general. So one of the main reasons outside of those $500 that buyers choose not to complete a mold inspection is because there might not be any evidence of mold anywhere, and it might seem a bit silly to test something where there's no evidence of. The second question that we typically get asked is, should I test for asbestos? Well, at the time that you're purchasing a home, we usually recommend that you don't test for asbestos. Why? Asbestos is typically a substance, from our knowledge, that's known to be pretty okay if you don't touch it. And since you're just purchasing the home at this point and you're not banging down walls and starting construction, it might not be necessary to go ahead and test for asbestos while everything is still intact. Asbestos is something that we would recommend that maybe later down the road, if you're going to be doing some construction and your home was built in a certain year, that you might want to test for. Testing for asbestos usually takes a few days because you need to take that sample to the lab and they need to go ahead and process the sample. In a few days, you'll usually get it back with a positive or negative for the presence of asbestos, and then you'll have the opportunity, if you do want to finish said construction, to wear appropriate masks or even have someone encapsulated or protect that substance so that you and your family can stay safe in your home throughout your construction. The third most common type of question we get asked, and this is especially true in homes built before January 1st, 1979, is, should I test for lead-based paint? Again, you have the opportunity to test everything in the world that you would like. Normally, like lead-based paint and asbestos, it usually takes a few days, and you have to take that said sample to a certain lab and they can go ahead and test it and give it back to you. And same thing, they'll either say that yes, there's presence of lead, or no, there's not. For more information on these or any of the other types of inspections you as a buyer can do in the state of Colorado, give us a call and let us know. We're here and happy to help walk you through so you can have a safe and healthy home. From everyone here at the Golish team, I'm Lydia Golish. Thanks for watching and hope you have a blessed day. Bye.